Well, for more on this now, we can go live to our correspondents in Cairo and also St. Petersburg. And we'll go to Harry Fear first in Cairo. Harry, we do know dozens of bodies have been brought to Cairo so far, haven't they, throughout the day, but presumably many more still to come.
Indeed, at least 100 have already been brought here. That is 100 of the 224, and we're told that there are no survivors. Now, the emergency services in the restive Sinai Peninsula are still working to recover the full number of bodies, but we do know that we expect to have 25 children's corpses among them, and most of those that have already been recovered have now been brought to morgues like this one behind me. This is the Zeinhom morgue here in downtown Cairo. So a very grim process there. The bodies were collected from a 5-kilometer radius from the epicenter of the crash site. We understand there was at least one main crash site because there were, the plane split into two main parts. And Russia's emergencies ministry has said that the process of repatriation of these bodies to St. Petersburg could begin on Sunday, which is of course this national day of mourning in Russia.
OK, well, many of the families and friends of the victims are actually gathering now in St. Petersburg, and we can cross there to our correspondent, Ilya Petrenko. Ilya, we understand that many of the people who are there at the moment have received support, haven't they, from the authorities?
Yes, they have received support. They are still receiving support, but the place that has accumulated all the anxiety and grief today is right behind my back, St. Petersburg International Airport, Pulkovo. Now, 200 meters on my left is the kind of hub for psychological help that was organized for special psychological treatment of the relatives. According to the emergency staff, they are in close contact with every single family of the victims. Now, the victims come from 13 regions of Russia and also two neighboring countries, Ukraine and Belarus. Now, the locals, the people who are from St. Petersburg, some of them have already went home. They've received treatment, but other people from the other regions keep coming in, although they're being led through a special corridor, so I can't see them. I can tell you that some of these people, of course, came to the airport to meet their relatives, their family members in the morning, but then, of course, first reports of the crash came, even though the monitors, the terminal monitors, kept saying flight delayed, flight delayed. Those were the only words they saw. And then after it was finally confirmed that the crash did indeed happen and there were no survivors, people were still desperate. Of course, they were still trying to dial the numbers of their loved ones, refusing to accept the tragic reality of today. And we heard from one of those relatives, who is, of course, she just she was lost for words.
Была дочь моего партнера. Они супруги поехали отдыхать. Завтра у нее день рождения, ей 35 лет. И была еще годовщина свадьбы недавно. То есть, просто как бы...
There's no doubt that everyone around here is trying to offer their help and support, condolences. Now, speaking of support efforts, a popular taxi service, Uber, has offered free rides to the Pulkovo airport for anyone involved with the tragedy. Of course, the emergency HQ is working round the clock, and they've already given treatment to more than 100 people. And this is just one person that's received such treatment. You can listen to that right now.
Психологическая помощь. Успокоительные дали, говорили. Я плохо в этом сейчас понимаю.
Of course, a tremendously difficult night ahead for the relatives, the people that are staying both in this hotel and the ones that went home, because tomorrow is going to be even more difficult when people are expecting the bodies to arrive from Egypt on those Russian emergency planes. We're waiting for that.
OK, thanks, Ilya. Well, we'll go back to Harry Fear now in Cairo because the investigation into this crash is underway. Harry, what have the authorities said so far about that?
Well, simply we don't know yet what happened to the plane, and the investigation is underway. All that we really know is that it disappeared really from radar, disappeared to authorities without any distress signal while it was at 31,000 feet. And Egypt's Prosecutor General Nabil Sadek has ordered a team of prosecutors to begin investigating the scene, and they will investigate too the debris. And we know that the 2 black boxes have already been recovered. Now, Egypt has agreed to let the Russian authorities partake in this investigation. We understand there is very close and full cooperation. And 5 planes worth of Russian officials from the Emergencies Ministry have already left Russia, and already we understand that some of them have arrived here in Egypt. And we're told that there is indeed this full level of cooperation. Now, the aircraft was an A321-200 medium-haul Airbus, and it was registered in 2012 in Ireland. Irish aviation investigation authorities have offered their full cooperation and have dispatched one of their investigative officers, as have the Airbus manufacturer itself. They've offered full any and all assistance, as has the airline itself, Colavia Metrojet.
OK, thank you. We were listening there to Harry Fear live there from Cairo, and also Ilya Petrenko in St. Petersburg. Thanks to you both.